For almost every team, there are always a few guys who strike fear into the opposition. But there's only one man that could do that wearing a hoodie and not even touching the ball. Bill Belichick is the greatest coach we have ever seen, rocking 6 rings and 17 division titles. But something has happened. Things are changing. The reign might be over. The Patriot way used to be said in reverence to describe the professionalism and intentional way New England went about doing their business. They were the golden child of the NFL, and it was just accepted that they were the model of how to run a team. Belichick ruled the organization with an iron fist, and they were able to keep everything in-house. That same slogan is now mocked openly as former Patriots and other players with knowledge of the situation around the league think Belichick is behind the times in his valuation and treatment of players. This isn't anything new, though. If you look back at the Patriots over the years, and especially focusing on skill position players outside of quarterback, you'll notice a pattern. Let's just start with this year and their inability or perhaps lack of desire to sign Jakobi Meyers. He was their wide receiver 1 for the last 3 seasons, and Belichick didn't want to pay him. The biggest example of this is probably Randy Moss, a top 3 all-time wide receiver coming off a 1,200-yard and 13-touchdown season, and going into the last year of his contract wasn't offered an extension. Wes Welker, who ranks 3rd all-time in receptions for the Patriots franchise and was 2nd in the NFL in receptions during the final year of his contract in New England, no contract. The Patriot way became moving on from top talent before you had to pay them like top talent. Belichick felt he could win with anyone as long as he had Tom Brady and Gronk. And in some aspects, he was right. They had success with guys like Chris Hogan and Brandon LaFell because there was always the constant of Gronk, whose retirement left Belichick scrambling. His love for the tight end position spawned from the success of Gronk and Aaron Hernandez, but today it's eating him alive. Extending a wide receiver feels like the end of the world for him, but he has no problem going all out for Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. But the biggest void for the franchise that's staring everyone in the face is quarterback. But this wasn't the first time Belichick has coached a Brady-less Patriots. In 2008, Tom Brady went down with a torn ACL in the first game of the season, leaving Matt Castle as the starting quarterback. Belichick coached that team to an 11-5 record, losing the tiebreaker to the Dolphins and missing the playoffs by just half a game. But it was a solid season. In 2016, Jimmy Garoppolo had to start 2 games for the Patriots and went 2-0 with impressive stats. Both of these quarterbacks would be traded for second-round picks the year after they started for the Patriots. So the hoodie made them look good and then traded them at their peak value. One more reason the man is a legend. So why isn't it working now? Since Brady left for Tampa in 2020, the Patriots have only made the playoffs once and have started 5 different quarterbacks. The first QB to get a crack at it after Brady left was an aging Cam Newton. He clearly wasn't the same level of athlete as he used to be, regardless of what the 12 rushing touchdowns might try to tell you. The Patriots still had a top defense, but when your offense can't put points on the board, it's really hard to win. It was the Patriots' first losing season since Belichick's first season in 2000. The bright side is that he gave the Patriots an early enough draft pick to select their next franchise quarterback. They landed on Mac Jones, or perhaps he landed on them. He had a pretty good rookie campaign, but last year the wheels came off a little bit. In his 14 starts, the Patriots went 6-8, and Jones got worse in all of his primary stats. It would be perfectly fine as long as this was the only issue plaguing New England heading into the offseason and New Year, but Belichick has a lot of issues all over this roster, and it's how he answers those that will determine how and when his career ends. The QB race appears to be between Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. He's added another tight end in Mike Gesicki and brought in Juju Smith-Schuster to replace Jakobi Meyers, but is that enough? I know Robert Kraft loves Bill Belichick, and he's given New England fans 6 Super Bowls. So perhaps he's done enough that he'll be able to walk off into the sunset on his own terms whenever he darn well pleases. Maybe there's an unspoken agreement that he'll retire after becoming the winningest coach of all time. But at this rate, that could take 4 more years. Or, and this is my theory, he's raised expectations of himself and this team so high that they've forgotten he's led them to more playoff berths in his time with the team than they had since the organization was created in 1960. So now fans believe that the Patriots are a proud franchise at the top of the league that deserves better than the guy who made them that way. It's been a long road to the top of the coaching mountain, and he's earned every bit of the recognition. If the Patriots put together 2 more losing seasons in a row, then it is my belief that he will be asked to step down. The league is changing, and the Patriot way isn't. It was only a matter of time before he got left behind.